Welcome to BODS Mayhem Hour, your source for all hard rock, heavy metal, new metal, alternative, punk, horror punk, hardcore, rock, and all local bands, with your host, John the Bod, a.k.a. the Bodfather.
All right, y'all, this is Nikki, Ministry of that one and only New Year's Day, and you are listening to BODS Mayhem Hour. You are welcome.
The views and opinions of the guest do not necessarily reflect the views and opinions of BODS Mayhem Radio Network, its staff, affiliates, or sponsors. Parental discretion is advised. Welcome to BODS Mayhem Radio Network.
Hey everybody, welcome to BODS Mayhem Hour. I'm your host, John the Bod, a.k.a. the Bodfather, and as always, I bring you guys awesome interviews. Today, it's a privilege and a very huge honor to have Nikki Misery of New Year's Day. New Year's Day has released their fourth studio album, Unbreakable, via Red Music, out now. They've also released their single, Come For Me, that's the new one. Unbreakable is the follow-up to the band's 2015 LP Malevolence, which hit number 45 on the Billboard 200, thanks to radio hits Defame Me and Kill or Be Killed. So, Nikki, how's it going, man?
Hey, I'm just living dreams out here in beautiful Louisiana still, you know?
Louisiana. I'd like to see Louisiana.
It's like my home away from home. I have like a lot of family that lives like in South Louisiana.
Yes, sir.
So it's always, I always love coming here just, get hang with the fam, get some good food, get some good drink.
Yes, sir.
Play a couple rock shows, and just live,
I just love the whole culture of Louisianans. I love the whole history about that state, the paranormal side of it, just the whole culture of Louisiana. I love it, man. There's nothing better than us Southern folk.
Oh, I 100, 200, 666% agree with that.
How's it been working with Red Music so far for you guys?
So far, it's been great, man. I mean, like, pretty much since we got with them and Indigoot, like, the doors have been opening. We've been nothing but constantly busy, moving up. It's almost, like, very surreal at the same time, because it's just, like, in a sense, the reason why you pick up this guitar and why you work so hard is to have these moments right here. And it's so crazy because everyone's like, wow, you guys are, like, on the edge of blowing up. I'm like, wait, really? It just seems like every day. Like same thing, but it's so surreal. It's the absolute dream. And I'm just so excited for not only like tomorrow, but today, When
I say this, I don't mean this in a bad way. I mean this all in a great, great way. New Year's Day is a touring band. You guys are made for the road, if that makes sense.
Absolutely. No, absolutely. I mean, like, you can listen to the music and stuff like that. You can listen to, like, the CD, but ain't not like a live show. And we bring it with that energy, that nihilistic punk rock stage performance, the way Ash interacts with the audience. And we always like to change things up. Growing up, like, just listening to, like, Kiss and Led Zeppelin, none of it was quite like the studio album. And I always loved that element, because if you're going to come to the show, we want to give you a show. And the only way we can do that, travel around these states and give you guys a damn good show.
Yeah, and speaking of that, my family in Kentucky, which that's where I'm from, do not miss New Year's Day on Louder Than Life this year, coming up next month, very, very shortly. Or no, this month, end of this month. So it's going to be very, very good for you guys, I think.
Yeah, I'm excited. I think we did Louder Than Life once or twice before, and it was like one of the raddest ones we've ever been on.
Nikki, in today's music world, some bands only put an EP or album out, then they're done. You know that just as well as I do. How does it feel to still be able to put another album out, especially in today's world, because so much has changed over time?
Yeah, the industry is not what people think it is. Like, the life isn't as glamorous as it was, like, when you see bands like back in the 80s where you had one album and you could buy yourself a whole house, Mm-hmm. Like, it ain't the same way anymore. And, like, the industry is a leech. And if I could, like, if the music industry had a face and I had an aluminum bat, I'd beat the shit out of that thing. Excuse the language. But I mean, like, because the industry isn't about the art. The industry is about the marketing of it, or like whatever thing the art is against. That's like what the industry is. And just the fact that I'm still here to be able to do this, like I said, it's very humbling and very surreal. And like I talked to so many bands, and I remember sitting down with some cats, and they'd be like, man, we wish we could tour. And like, we're constantly on the road. So like, it's a very blessed feeling at the same time. It brings you down to earth. It really appreciates what you're doing. But at the same time, it's like we work our asses off. And one of the questions we get, like when I do a lot of these interviews, like, oh, so what do you do with your free time and your downtime? I'm like, what the hell is that?
Yeah.
Like usually when I tour and if I go home, the very next day, like I don't take a day off. The next day I go straight back to work or working on a music video or doing something else, anything to keep moving. Because if not, you're going to sink, you're going to drown. The artists don't make the $1 million anymore unless you're one of those huge bands. So it's like, if you're still breathing, you're doing it right.
And you're exactly right. I mean, it's not like in the 80s no more where you can write that album, then take a few months off, and then get right back into it. It's not like that at all by any means today.
Not at all. Like people think we're like rolling in dough, and they don't know that like Frankie and I, we share one room in some tiny little house. Like it's not glamorous. We're not out making money, but that's not the reason why we do this.
When writing the single "Shut Up" and songs for the album, did it push you guys out of your comfort zone at all with this new album?
Absolutely. With this new album, well, the biggest difference that we had compared to other albums was time and, in a sense, patience. Before that, when we did albums like Victim to Villain, Malevolence, we were just given 1 month, maybe less than, and be like, okay, you write these songs, make an album, there you go. This one we had like a span of 4 years. We actually got to like let these songs marinate, like really obsess over them and really like get nitty gritty and very picky with every little, tune. So it was really fun to like step out of ourselves, like explore different kinds of music, actually let the influences that we've been listening to, like modern music and like the bands that we've been touring with, let those like sink in and really be able to like put it in the way that still says New Year's Day.
I'm going to say this right now, and I just thought about this because it just hit me like a ton of bricks out of left field. You guys did, and I don't care if anybody hates me or not when I say this, but you guys did a hell of a job on the Pantera cover acoustically that you all did. I thought it was very awesome.
Oh, thank you so much.
It was very awesome, and you guys just did it your own way, and I totally commend you guys for that because it takes guts to step outside and do a Pantera song like that, and you know that just well as I do, sir.
No, absolutely. I 100% agree with you. And some of my favorite parts is when we first brought that song up, they're like, we were actually told, it's like, you can't do that song. You're a girl. And we're like, oh, fucking right. And watch us.
Yeah.
And then, we want to do an acoustic, when we're doing acoustic performances for a lot of radio, we wanted to add that song in. They told us, not like radio, but like a lot of people told us, we can't make Pantera acoustic. And we're like, watch us. It's like even more so, like, that kind of like punk rock rebellion, like you can't tell us what to do. A good song's a good song, whether it's Pantera, Metallica, I don't give a shit who writes it, like we want to play it, we're going to do it. And this is our way of like in a sense, like a middle finger of who says we can't do anything. And to be honest, I think that's the biggest compliment to Pantera that we can give.
And man, I honestly think if Dime and Vinny was still here, they would love this. I honestly think with everything in me, they would approve of this 100%. Has Phil said anything on this, possibly?
That one we don't know, but actually, Vinny's heard the song before he passed. We toured with Hell Yeah, so when we were like, I don't think it was actually released yet, or it was just before it was released, so we did Lost Rages where Hell Yeah played one of the days, and he got to hear it and absolutely loved it. And, I mean, passed shortly after, but, like, that was, like, one of the things where it gave us like that confidence and that extra push.
Mm-hmm. Sure.
And oddly enough, one of the next festivals we're playing, Bill is playing that. And so I'm kind of like, what if?
Yeah, why not? Why can't Phil come in and set in on this? This is going to be Louder Than Life, folks, this month in Louisville, Kentucky. So it may happen, possibly. Teaser.
Oh, I'm crossing my eyes, fingers, and toes for that one.
What's impressed or excited you the most about making the new album Unbreakable, if anything? Is there anything about it that sticks out about it that excites you, possibly?
Oh, yeah. There's definitely a couple things. One of it is with especially a song like Shut Up, to have such a different musical genre influence and to put that out. And I remember when we kind of put out like little teasers of it, everyone's like, oh, my God, New Year's Day went pop. And, you just sit there like, oh, if you think that's pop, then buckle up your seatbelt, get ready for the rest. And just like, just experimenting with different sounds, And one of my favorite things about this that really made this album pop is, like, say when we were doing Malevolence, the feel of the band at the time, the common morale was so low, and the band was in such a dark place at that time, like internally and in our personal lives. And which kind of like goes into the whole album of Unbreakable, because after these 4 years, we fought a lot, and like this band is on such a good plane. Like our core, the four of us, like we're like a little family right here, gone through all these obstacles, came out on top. And when we wrote this song, everybody was in a great place. Everybody had awesome ideas, you know, everybody was so positive about it. And so that overall just like family vibe and that unbreakable feeling of this band was one of the biggest exciting parts, because just let your creative juices just flow.
Was it hard to choose between the current set of songs on this album, which one would be the first single or video, or was it hands down Shut Up?
I was hands down Shut Up. I was so excited. It's just funny because people ask me, like, were you nervous to put that out? And as much as I want to say no, I was excited. It was a little tiny bit of it, you know, because it's such a far off from what we're used to, you know, and especially how people used to see us before, looking like this undead Motley Crue. And then you have like this band with a new bit of life. You have color in our faces, you know, coming out with these songs, especially like Shut Up. It's very exciting.
Yeah, and you wouldn't think that you guys would put something out there like that, because like you said, you guys were in that darker place. But this shows the maturity and the growth of you guys. I think it's really good.
Absolutely. And I love it. And at the same time, too, we kind of hit this point, like, as artists, you're supposed to push these boundaries, you know? You're supposed to break rules. Like, I don't want to be a band that just fits in one genre. I want to be a musician and play good tunes. You know, like, if you think of, like, back, like, well, everybody always looks like 70s rock. It's like an epitome of, like, where, like, the golden age of music. And when you think of 70s rock, like, there's hardly any two bands that sounded alike. And, like, just the genre itself was so vast. Mm-hmm. And that's what I love. I'm not trying to be like this one, like, horror metal, and that's all we ever play. Here's pumpkins on every album, you know? Like, let us grow. Let us break down walls. Let us break some rules. Let's do the damn thing.
Yeah, agreed. The video Come For Me was directed by Robin August, who's worked with Defame Me, Kill or Be Killed, I'm About to Break You, and Matt Phelan of, and I hope I say this right, Chisel Pixel Productions. How was working with these folks on this video?
It was like, it's just like when you come back from summer vacation and you go to school and you see all your friends again. Like, we haven't worked with him since, I want to say, I think the last video we did with him was I'm About to Break You. But just like his eye, his vision, he's spot on. He's such an easy person to work with. And I absolutely adore the dude and his work and what he's done. So it was cake.
Any songs standing out more to you than any right now possible on this new album? I know it changes every time that you listen to it, and I know you guys are close to them. But for you personally, do you have any that stick out for you?
Absolutely. Done With You was the first song I was like, oh, my God, this is a beast. You know, just like Ash's vocals kind of just remind me of just like constant hits to the head, you know, just I almost just picture like this angry walk down the street, and you're almost like strutting it up. Nocturnal was another really fun one. It sounds like a kind of like Halloween party song, like throwback to something. It almost sounds like older New Year's Day, and it always still reminds me of like an Oingo Boingo Dead Man's Party too at the same time. We just have so much fun with that song, and those two have been like my absolute number ones. That's not like, you know, the current single.
And I think Ash's vocals, you could hear more confidence in her vocals too.
Oh my gosh, yeah. I'll listen to like Victim to Villain songs to kind of put like a set list together, and like you can just hear the maturity and her growth throughout like these albums.
Oh yeah, for sure. Nikki, what do you hope everyone takes away from this new album and single, or message you hope they hear while listening to any of New Year's Day's music in general? What do you hope anybody gets from all this?
I hope people just, this album for fun, you know, like have a good time. Like, at the same time, like if you're looking at like our lives, like anybody can do this, you know, like all it takes is like some hard work, passion, and heart, and get up there and just do you.
How long did it take to write and complete this album again? Did you say it was like 4 years? Is that right, or am I wrong?
Yeah, it was about 4 years since Malevolence, I believe. And I know we put out the little thing of a couple cover songs, you know, but that was like the little like, all right, here's an appetizer, dinner's coming, don't worry.
So, are there any songs that were going to be on this album that didn't make it, that could see the light of day on an EP or another album by you guys?
Well, actually, I mean, there's like riffs and stuff, but I wouldn't call them songs. We're already starting to get like our toes in to start like writing for the next album, which is pretty much, it's like planting seeds, you know. Seeds is way big and different from the tree, but yeah, we're already starting to work on the next moves. Like I said, we never really stopped.
Who did the artwork for this album? Because the artwork's pretty damn awesome.
That was like anything you see is completely Ash's vision.
Nice.
So everything, yeah. And it's so cool, and it's so funny because like I hear a lot of things like now too, because like the album cover is just Ash, and everyone's kind of thinking, oh, it's the Ashley show. But no, we've been wanting to have just Ash in the forefront for years. Pretty much since I joined the band, like, dude, they should just be you. That's who they want to see.
Yeah, nothing wrong with that.
No, and I love that, yeah.
This album was produced by Mitchell Marlowe, who's worked with All That Remains, In This Moment, and Butcher Babies, and Scott Stevens, who's worked with American authors Hailstorm and Shinedown. How was working with these folks?
Oh, dude, they are dolls. They are some of the raddest cats. Great vision and good, and such an ear for tunes and riffs, and like we'll fiddle with something, and they'll hear like the song coming from like just one little riff. Like, what's that? You work on it, you develop it, you get something new. Granted, not that fast. I'm not gonna say like all the songs are written like in a second, like I wish it could be, but no, they really pulled out some awesome sounds from us, and yeah, it was a dream and an honor to be able to work with them.
So working with Mitchell and also Scott on this, did they get something out of you guys that somebody else may have not have gotten possibly?
I mean, I'd say so. The proof's in the pudding.
That's true.
You know, like you could hear the next steps that this band has been taking, and the confidence behind it at the same time.
When you come into the recording studio, do you like to do anything differently during that writing and recording process, which I know that's two different concepts, to help keep your mind fresh and open, to not get bored or get stale with it? Do you do anything that helps you possibly?
It's hard. I mean, because like, you know, you're a human. Every day you wake up in a different mood, and sometimes I got to be the one that gets put in check. You know, like, hey, you know, you're a little off your switch today. But how to prepare, I don't know, because sometimes I like to take like those bad days and kind of like hold on to it and use it as inspiration with writing. Mm-hmm. Sometimes it works, sometimes it doesn't. But I guess the main thing is just be open to the experience. You know. Not everything's going to sound super awesome from the get-go. Sometimes it's going to sound. Sometimes they'll hear something that I don't hear, but I just have to like trust it and go with it. And after a while, I'm like, oh, now I see what they're doing.
I see what you did there.
Yeah, like, smooth move, X-Lax. I like it.
Yeah, that's good. What can fans expect at a show from New Year's Day who have not got to see you guys live as of yet? What are they going to get when they come to see you?
You get a high-energy rock show. It's almost nihilistic as it is cute, and as it is a punch in the goddamn face. It's something you could shake your hips and bang your head. And if you haven't seen it, I would come with your seatbelt buckle because this shit's a wild ride.
In your own opinion, what does New Year's Day bring to the table for music that's not out there as of right now? I know nobody's reinventing the wheel, but what are you adding to it?
What are we adding to it? I don't know, some style, some pizzazz again, a little action. You get to see some people who are really enjoying what they do for this. You got people that are up here pretty much hurting themselves just for your entertainment. I get off stage with like bruises and cuts. I don't even know where they come from. And I mean, like, you know, I do this because I love to perform for people. And I love to play these music, these songs that we read. And I love that energy. And don't worry, like, you give me energy, you're going to get it back.
What made you want to become a musician? What was it spark for you, if you can recall, Nikki, possibly?
There's a couple different. So growing up in Southern California, well, actually, let me go way back. I remember when I was really young, I want to say I was either in Louisiana or Texas, but we were watching the movie La Bamba.
Oh, nice.
And that song Sleepwalk came on. And yeah, I mean, like the whole action in the ending was very sad, but that song, I remember, just really brought out the emotion. And that song used to make me cry constantly, just listening to it. I remember thinking at such a young age that something just so sonically can have such an impact on people. And that was like my first taste into it. And I remember, like, we go down to New Orleans growing up, and you see, like, the makeshift jazz bands, you know, just these kids on the street, just already these amazing musicians, just jamming out these rad tunes. And I thought that was the coolest. you know, growing up in Southern California, we'd go to Mexico all the time, and like, you know, you see like the mariachis come and sing the songs. And my dad would always, like, you know, he'd translate the words for me. And he's like, oh, these are songs about, you know, about these, you know, freedom fighters fighting the government, you know, the songs about heartbreak, how he's about to die because his girl left him. And I thought it was the coolest thing because they look so cool in their mariachi outfits. Oddly enough, since with the video that just came out today when we're all mariachis. But, you know, just all you had was your guitar. And I just imagine, you know, just waking up in these clothes, picking up the guitar, and singing your songs of freedom and love. And I've always wanted to be a part of that. Then I got into punk rock. And if that wasn't rebellion in itself, I didn't know what was. So
Yes, sir. Yes, sir.
Yeah.
Nothing like Cro-Mags or Rancid or some old...
Oh, my God. So it was so funny because we were walking around New Orleans before the show today, me and Ash. And, you know, we walked into Gruner Brothers because we love the dangle hats.
Yeah.
And I was wearing, like, this cut-up Misfits shirt. And this guy goes, oh, yeah, one of the guys was just in here today. I was like, wait, what? And he shows me, it's our buddy A.C. Slade. So I was like, no way. I call him up, and I'm like, dude, are you in New Orleans? Come to Gruner Brothers. Like 2 minutes later, they walk in, him and his wife. And that was so funny because you mentioned that because, like, I was like, dude, how have those last couple shows been? Because the last show they played in Sacramento, because he plays rhythm guitar for Misfits. Cro-Mags opened up, and it was The Damned, and then Rancid, and then he gets to play with the Misfits. I'm like, what a show!
Hell yeah, yes sir.
Unbelievable.
There's another show that's getting ready to go down. It's for Pirates Press Records. They're doing called Rock the Ship for their 15th year anniversary. They've got CJ Ramon. They've got a lot of Fat Records folks out there on this, and I love the old school punk stuff, man. I think there's nothing better of it, you know. But I'm
same.
Yeah, I love
Same.
it, dude. Ska.
It had that energy, that fight in it again.
Ska music. I love ska music. Hepcat, if you like that stuff.
Yeah.
Oh God. Yeah. It's good stuff.
Yeah. No, we grew up on that. Like Ash and I, growing up in Southern California, you know, there was a whole third wave ska revival. That's what blew up, and like that's how I discovered ska punk. I remember MTV put this thing on. The first video I saw was the special, The Message to You, Rudy, and I don't know why I was so enthralled by it.
Tell you another band to check out too is you probably already heard of them, called Voodoo Glow Skulls. Yes, sir.
Oh yeah.
Yes, sir.
Punkorama Volume 1 when,
Yes.
what was it, El Cucuy on that one. I was like,
yes.
what is this sound?
Got Love Letter. They did one called Love Letter. Oh, that's awesome. Is there a country, Nikki, that stands out or shocks you that New Year's Day gets support from, or your music even gets played in that area? Possibly, is there a country that shocks you? Possibly.
Argentina. I found out that India. We got some cats in India that listen to us. To be honest, any place that's not Southern California that listens to us, plays us, knows who we are, I'm still like, wow, you guys really like us? I was telling my friend that even just like walking around New Orleans the next day, someone just came up to me like, hey, can we take a picture with you? I was like, yeah, who do you think I am? Like, saw you play yesterday. I was like, oh, wow. You know, I was like, hey, maybe we are pretty cool.
That's good, man. You're getting recognized like that. That's awesome.
That's wild. That's wild. It still trips me out. Like, I hope this is something I never get used to.
Is there a show for you, man, that you guys have played that has kind of blowed you away, that you couldn't believe that, man, I'm actually a part of this? I'm actually really doing this?
Yeah, a while back, I think it was Aftershock in Sacramento. We pretty much opened up the stage for Ozzy Osbourne. And then this other day we played, I can't remember what the festival name was, but BMX played it. And I kind of was like, wow, we played that same stage.
That's awesome.
Oh, actually, no, I got one right here. I was doing a back band on one of the songs, and we were on Warped Tour. And right when I get back up, Tony Adolescent from the Orange County punk band, The Adolescents, was watching and going like, yeah. And that was like one of my favorite bands growing up. So just to have that dude watching us play was the coolest thing. And he would watch us play a lot. Like, you'd see him out in the crowd, like walking around. And it's one of those things like, wow,
yeah,
he's watching.
Yeah.
You know, and then like nobody else knows who he is. I'm like, that's a real legend right there.
Exactly. That's when you go back and it hits you surreal. You're like, God, one of my favorite bands is watching me. Don't fuck up. Don't fuck up.
Yeah.
Don't fuck up.
Yeah. So the whole time I'm thinking, go more wild, go more wild, go more wild. Break this guitar over your head. You got it. Chester will give you another one. Something.
Act like you pulled the back muscle. Oh.
Yeah. Oh, God, I did that before, too.
It hurts. It sucks.
Yeah, it does. It does. Thank God we had a day off for the next couple of days, so I just got to be bunk-ridden. But, yeah, that sucks.
I'm sure you guys get this a lot, but what does it mean to you guys when you receive that email or a fan tells you guys that New Year's Day's music has inspired them to overcome obstacles, to go after something, or just better themselves as a person, or it's brought them out of the black hole, as we should speak, as things along that line? What's it mean to you guys when you hear this?
It's very surreal and humbling. I know I use that a lot, but it really brings you back, because it's like these people, I'm doing for them what the people who, musicians I listen to did for me. And I almost can't believe it, because I sometimes think, I'm like, I don't really know what I'm doing. I'm just playing tunes. I'm glad, but then you start thinking, this is the real reason why you pick up an instrument. It's not for the parties and the girls and stuff. It's this. It's this effect you have on people. And at the end of the day, if you've changed someone for the better, that's the whole point of this. We're doing something good for the world. And I also kind of want to say it like Jack Black at School of Rock. I'm on the front lines, man, liberating people with my music.
It's true.
And it's kind of cool. It's the raddest thing.
But that's true. You guys are. I think every band out there should feel that way. You guys are out there putting your heart and soul out there, and we can take that song and twist it into what we think it is and just can actually get inspiration from it when it's something totally not even meant to be. So
exactly. And I try to remember when I was that age and I heard this song and it pretty much changed my life, and the fact that we get to do that, I mean, that's the real dream,
Folks, get out and pick up New Year's Day's 4th studio album, Unbreakable, via Red Music. It's out now. Check them out at Louder Than Life later this month, and you will not be disappointed. And also, if you get a chance to check their acoustic set out, if you're there and you can check it out, God, I hope they do the Pantera deal and Phil sets in on it. I hope so. But Nikki, thank you so much. How can folks stay in touch with you guys? Merchandise, tour dates, all that good stuff. How can they do that?
Check out any of our Instagrams. You can go on NYD Rock. It has a link to all the dates. You can go under. You can find either Ash Costello or me under Nikki Misery. But our name's pretty simple. But NYD Rock is the main band one. Check it out, or just search New Year's Day tour date.
Before I let you go, good sir, would you care to do a promo for my show?
Oh, I'd love to. All right, y'all. This is Nikki Misery of that one and only New Year's Day, and you are listening to BODS Mayhem Hour. You are welcome.
Everybody stick around. We got some great stuff coming up, and you only hear these interviews right here on BODS Mayhem Hour and BODS Mayhem Radio Network. Please check out our Facebook page. It has our podcast link, YouTube link, and our Twitch link. And please, it's vital that you go like and subscribe to our YouTube page, because anything and everything is going to go up on that, and plus our podcast link. Get out and check out New Year's Day. If you haven't heard of their music, you're surely living under a rock. Give this band a chance. Nikki, thank you so much, and rock out at Louder Than Life for me, man.
Hey, you got it, brother. It's been an honor and a pleasure. Thank you for having me.
You're listening to BODS Mayhem Hour.
Follow us on Facebook, Twitter, and Instagram.